horseshoe is back.
What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Bring the Juice podcast. Derek Larger joining you, and my guy, Matt, from Inside the Horseshoe podcast joining me today. We are going to be breaking down the top 5 reasons why we believe you should be excited about this Indianapolis Colts football team. Before we get into that, though, just a quick word about our sponsor. What's up, football fans? Do you want an advantage on your sports betting this year? You need to download BetQL, the only app you'll need to make smart bets. Their computer model scans hundreds of thousands of bets every year to give you the best bet recommendation for every game across all major sports. Their model covers everything from spreads, over-unders, to player prop bets. If you don't want to use their model and use your own research, that's fine. They can help you with your researching needs. There's sharp data to know who the pros are backing, the line movement so you can jump on betting opportunities in real time, team summaries highlighting previous success and over-unders and spreads, and team lineup, breaking news, and injury status updates. Plus, you can save all your picks in one place to track your success on leaderboards and rankings. Head to the App Store or Google Play now to download BetQL. You can also head to try.betql.co/juice to get started. Enter the discount code JUICE for a 25% off any of their subscription offerings. Find all this information here in the description, and make sure to check out their BetMGM in the description to receive a free year of BetQL. No subscription status is nothing. Also, check out their sportsbook offer pages if you live in an eligible state for free offers upon signing up. Don't miss out on the chance to beat your sportsbooks this football season. All right, guys, so top 5 picks here for the best reasons to be excited about the Indianapolis Colts this year. I mean, Matt was saying it before, there's a lot of them, so it was kind of difficult to put all of it into just 5 ways here, but we think we got a couple things down. So let's go with the first and one of the more obvious, and that is the new dynamic with Carson Wentz at quarterback. So obviously we're going to see a lot of different things going on this year than what we saw with Phillip Rivers. A lot more maybe play action, a couple different on the run plays, but again, should still be a lot of fun and exciting to watch. What's your take on it?
So one reason why I'm really excited to see Carson Wentz be with this Colts offense is, like you said, he has the play action ability. So with Phillip Rivers, he would, he wouldn't really have the ability to run if he was feeling pressure. He would kind of just stand there. He'd be like a statue. He would just have to throw it, or he would run like 0.1 mile per hour just to try to get away from the defense. Carson Wentz has that ability to where he can extend the play, and he gives the receivers more time to gain separation. And we know Carson can throw it really good on the run. The guy has a cannon for an arm, and he's pretty accurate too, especially on the run. So, I think that really excites me because it's just going to make our offense more dangerous. That's something I felt we were missing last year because we saw with Buffalo, Josh Allen had the ability to where if he had pressure, he could escape with his legs. Now we have that with Carson. So that just makes our offense a lot better, and it's going to make a lot of defenses, be a little more worried than what they were going up against Phillip Rivers, even though Phillip Rivers is an all-time great.
Yeah, absolutely. Keeps those defensive ends on the outside a little bit more. So, that helps in the RPO game when the Colts are running the football. I mean, it really does, because then you have the ability for Wentz to take that out, which as the defensive ends never had to worry about that with Rivers running it. So, yeah, like we said, guys, a lot of different aspects to this offense. But one thing that remains the same, offensive line remains elite. Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, Mark Lewinsky, Braden Smith, bunch of all pros and really good offensive linemen on this roster. And then the left tackle position, which we saw from Eric Fisher, he was limited in practice on Wednesday. Still a little bit of a long shot that he plays the opening game, but the Colts are very optimistic he will be back before the end of the month even ends. So, I mean, great news overall here, Matt, that this offensive line remains intact and might actually be getting its left tackle back sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. And I do agree. I don't see Eric Fisher being back week 1. If he's back by week 1 after going through the injury that he went through, I mean, who is his doctor? Who are the people
We're
that are
asking
giving
the
the
same
rehab?
thing about Wentz and Nelson's doctor. I mean,
Because if I break my leg or whatever, I want a doctor as good as that doctor to come in and fix
exactly.
it. Because maybe I'll be walking the next day. Like it's insane. So I think having Eric Fisher back, especially when we're playing teams like potentially the Rams, if he's able to come back week 2, Baltimore, some of these defenses that have really good defensive lines. I mean, Tennessee, they beefed up their defensive line too. Secondary, not so much, but their defensive line, they did. So having Eric Fisher back for those teams is something that really excites me. And it makes our offensive line, if he can come back 80-90% of what he was prior to his injury, we probably have the best offensive line in the NFL. Obviously, we know what Nelson, Kelly, Galinsky, and Braden Smith are going to do. I'm pretty confident Davenport against the Seahawks, but adding Eric Fisher to that offensive line, it has the potential to be the best offensive line Indy has ever had.
Yeah. Yeah, that it does. Not only best in the NFL, but just best for the Colts in general. You're right. I mean, even last year, over the last couple years, we would argue that's one of the best that we've ever seen. I mean, I've been saying it all along. This offensive line sticks together. My gosh, this is one of the best offensive lines ever created. So, I mean, yeah, absolutely. And then another thing to go along with the offensive line, Mac attack is back. That's right. Marlon Mack being back now completes this running back room. We already know Jonathan Taylor. We know what he's most likely going to do this year, going to play at a potential top 10 running back level. You have guys like Nyheim Hines, who has improved as a runner, and we know what he can do as a pass catcher. Now, you and your third running back, who at this time last year was widely regarded as a top 12 running back in the league, even before that injury. So, I mean, just to think of what this team can be, and if Marlon Mack is even 80% of what he once was, my Lord, good luck to defenses trying to stop this.
Yeah, I mean, just adding him to this mix, we already had, even without him, a really good, running back room. It was already a pretty dynamic running back room with different things that our running backs can do. Now you add Marlon Mack to the mix, it's already it's going to make our running game even better than what it was. And honestly, I think it rivals Cleveland for the best running back group in the NFL. We know what Marlon Mack can do when healthy. I mean, he's a guy that can get you 1,000 yards a year. Like he showed he can do that. And you add that to the mix with Taylor, who should be able to get 1,000 yards this year. And then you have Hines out there too. I would love it if we have like 3 running backs out at the same time on the field, just so we can confuse the defenses and be like, okay, do we go after Taylor? Do we go after Mack?
That
What about
triple
Hines?
option stuff, that triple option college BS right here, right?
Yeah.
You're faking with Taylor, faking with Mack, and then you just throw a lop over to Hines over here on the other side.
It's like we can run like a Navy offense or whatever when it comes to the run game at times. Like we can do so much with this run game. And look, is there a guarantee Marlon Mack's going to come back as good as he is? No, not necessarily. Not the nicest injury to have in the world. But if he comes back anywhere near what he was, yeah, rest in peace to the defensive teams that we're going up against.
I mean, if he is anywhere close to what he once was, I mean, in my opinion, I don't even think the Browns running back room comes close to what this running back room is. I know Chubb, and I know he's in my opinion a top 5 running back in the league. Yeah. In my opinion, I mean, just given what he's able to do, but I mean, Jonathan Taylor is close to that conversation with Nick Chubb, and he's only a rookie. And then on top of it, Hines. I mean, Kareem Hunt's a good runner. Don't get me wrong. But then again, I mean, I think Hines is a better guy out of the backfield as well than Kareem. And then I don't think the Browns have that third running back who's had 1,000 yards in 2019. So, again, I just think this running back room is so elite.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go to the defensive side of the ball now. And new life to the pass rush. Okay, we've talked about it all offseason. What are the Colts going to do to fix this pass rush? Because this defense showed it got stagnant as the year went on because they didn't have an adequate pass rush. Same with the secondary. So what did the Colts do? They went out and got Kwity Paye. They went out and drafted Dayo Adangbo, who is not going to be ready until at least halfway through the season, but fresh legs at the end of the year, that's always helpful. And then they boosted up even more of it. You brought in Isaac Rochelle. Kamoko Ture is back and healthy. Ben Banogu looks like he's finally found himself this year, kind of like what we saw with Tyquan Lewis in 2020. And on top of it, you and I were talking about it before we went on, DeForest Buckner stating all of last year he was hurt with a joint in his hand where he couldn't grab things very well, and says now I'm 100% and I can use my right hand to grip the way I want to. So that's even more deadly of a DeForest Buckner we're about to see.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you hear all of that, Matt, and what's going through your head when you hear all of that?
It just makes me so excited. Kwity Paye being added to this defense. I mean, we've already seen what he could do in the preseason. The guy looks fast. He looks difficult to handle. I can't wait until we go up against Seattle, and then he just gets out there and just manhandles their left tackles. I think they're going to be caught off guard. It's going to be amazing to watch. You got Grover Stewart. He's coming back. He's going to do the things that he was able to do. DeForest Buckner on his right hand. I didn't even know it was his right hand. I'm assuming he's like a right hand. His right hand is like
he's
dominant.
Right-handed, yeah.
So the fact that he was able to do what he would do without his dominant hand, adding him back in there. I mean,
he did that. He threw that guard last year with his bad arm. Yeah. Like, that's crazy.
Like, now I can believe that the Colts are going for 40 turnovers. I know that's what their goal is. Now you have DeForest Buckner. Now he's going to be able to use that right hand that he really couldn't use last year. I mean, that is going to be just amazing to see, because if he was that elite last year, I mean, he has potential to be, maybe next to Aaron Donald as the second best, or even better than Aaron Donald. I know that's crazy to say, because Aaron Donald is like an incredible player, but if DeForest Buckner was doing the things he could do without his dominant hand, maybe he can, but I'm not saying it, but maybe. But then, we still have Muhammad, Al-Qadim Muhammad. I like what he does. Tyquan Lewis is another guy I like a lot. Kamoko Ture is coming back healthy. That's something I'm excited to see, because what he did against Kansas City was pretty fun to watch. So I'm excited to see him back 100%. And then when Dio Dangbo comes back, if he's what Chris Ballard thinks he is, having Kwity Paye, Grover Stewart, DeForest Buckner, and Dio all together on that defensive line, it's going to be amazing.
It should be Dio replacing Grover and then Kamoko on the other side with him. That's just my opinion, but I mean, either way, you mentioned it when it comes to Kwity Paye and these left tackles. Dwayne Brown, the left tackle currently for the Seattle Seahawks, he has not practiced the majority of the offseason and the preseason due to an injury. So all throughout camp and through the majority of the preseason, he has not been readily available. So he has not been getting the same conditioning. He's not been getting the same amount of reps. Although Dwayne Brown is like one of the only few good offensive linemen on that roster, I mean, it could be at a point where he might get surprised early on in that game by Kwity Paye's speed. I mean, it could quite possibly be that way. So we'll see what happens there. And then the other thing, not necessarily a Colts-related issue, but what we want to talk about for the fifth most exciting thing about this Indianapolis team is how good they'll be with Lucas Oil being packed. That's right. No fans last year, at least for a certain point. We had only about, I think it was like 12.5%. Or like 20% or something at fan attendance. I mean, ironically enough, the Colts were one of the only few teams to do it, at least early on. And then, we saw having a few fans in there certainly helps. It didn't feel the same, though. But this next week, I'm going to be there. Are you going to be there?
I unfortunately won't be.
Okay. I was going to say, you're going to the Rams game, right?
Yes, I'll be at the Rams game.
Yeah, Rams game. Okay, and then, so Lucas Oil, home opener, first time having full fans in almost 2 years. This place is going to be rocking. And I know Seattle, half the time, just doesn't really care because they're used to playing in those kinds of conditions
Mm-hmm.
because of the 12th man over there in Seattle. But the energy boost and bringing the juice from that crowd to that team on Sunday is so important for a game like this.
Absolutely. I mean, like it's been like so long since we've had just full attendance. And I remember, I watched, like NBA playoffs, and then the Knicks game, Madison Square Garden, just completely packed and everybody going nuts. That just made me go, okay, when Lucas Oil Stadium is like this for the first time, it is going to be absolutely nuts. Like I wish I was able to go because I want to experience that, but at the same time, I'm afraid that whoever goes is going to be deaf. Like they're going to lose the ability to hear for like a year. So, Derek, I do apologize if that happens.
Ursay did say it is a sellout. He did say it is a sellout. So I fully anticipate. I mean, that's why I'm getting there like 3 hours ahead of time.
Yeah.
So that way I make sure that I can get into Indianapolis because I know it's going to be packed. So, but oh my gosh, I am so excited. I cannot wait to be back in Lucas Oil. Regardless of the outcome, I can't wait for the general fan experience. But that's going to do it for this one, guys, for 5 reasons why we think you should be excited about this Indianapolis Colts team. Let us know your thoughts again, and let us know like if there's any that we missed. Shout out again to my guy, Matt from Inside the Horseshoe Podcast. If you guys haven't subscribed to his YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so. You just hit 400 subs the other day. Did you not?
I did. I'm at 401 now. And I remember we were doing the live stream and I said, hey guys, I'm checking the updates. Just so you know, we went from 394 to 397. As soon as I said that, somebody unsubscribed. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, they always do. They always do.
I was like, that's fun.
Yeah, they always do, man.
But no, I'm shocked I hit that though.
Hey, congrats to you, man. 5 months of hard work and you're already at 400, man. That's crazy. I don't even think Cody was at that when he first started. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And thank you, everybody that subscribed. It does mean a lot.
Yep, absolutely, guys. Make sure you all go subscribe to him. I want to see him hit 1,000 before the game starts, all right?
Yeah,
there's 7,000 of you on here. At least 1,000 of you can go over and help my man out, okay? But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know your thoughts. And as always, go Colts. Once again, thank you to our sponsor, BetQL, the only app you will need to beat your sportsbooks. Find their information along with a 25% off discount code in the description of this video. Make sure you go check that out. And also check out their special BetMGM offer in the description in order to receive a free year of BetQL and other sportsbook sign-up offers and bonuses.